Hello, everybody.
Hey.
There we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie, WY7YL, here for Ham Radio Outlet, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube this afternoon. It's Wednesday, March. What is today? Today is March 6th. I didn't even know what time it was. And today I am pleased to have a couple of my friends here joining in. I've got Joe N6SIX, who is the manager of our San Diego store, and N5UIG, who is down in Plano. So, hi guys, how's it going?
Hey, Katie. Hey, D.
Howdy from Texas. Everything's
great. Howdy. Let's see. Oh, we've already got our first live viewer saying hello. Hello, Paul. Thanks for joining in.
Hey,
well,
Paul.
We did this last week for the first time. We thought it would be fun to kind of move around the country a little bit and visit with our managers to see how things are going for you guys in your stores, how your teams are holding up. What are you doing for ham radio while you're, still things are going on? So, but first I'm kind of curious. I'd like to share a little bit about, you guys. So Joe, how long have you been with us with Ham Radio Outlet?
I started with Ham Radio Outlet back in 2006 as a sales associate, and I became a manager in 2016. That's our back door.
It must be UPS is here.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And there's Tom. Hi, Tom. Let's see. All right, and D, how long have you been with HRO?
Started in 2015 when we opened the Texas store. To worked as a sales associate for about 3 years, and then I was promoted to manager down here. So I've been about a little over 2 years.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, of course, you guys probably know that I went down to Plano and did some filming. We did there's Ray. Hi, Ray. And of course, the weekend we planned this whole event, D wasn't there because before your recent retirement, you were very active with the fire department. And I know you just celebrated a big milestone with that. How long were you with the fire department, D?
Almost 40 years. Started with Alan in the early 80s and made it almost to 40 years, 39 3/4 where we ended up calling it hanging the helmet up. So very enjoyable career. I'd do it again if I could.
Really.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thanks.
Oh, look who's here.
Oh, it's Marcy.
Hey, there's Mrs. A.
Yeah.
All right. See, the family's got to show up and show some support here. And this, I think, is our first DX. There's our friend Tony popping in. Hi, Tony. So, let's see. Oh, and turkey. My goodness, we've got all kinds of. And there's Cal from our New Hampshire store. Oh, I guess he's headed down. So, and there's Jim, who says he's Ray Novak's Eddie's twin brother. All these inside jokes, you guys. What am I going to see? All right. So, anywho, let's talk. So let's talk about what's going on in your stores. Joe, let me start with you because I'm looking at you first here on my sheet here. So, tell me, how's it been in the store since you haven't been able to welcome your customers, and I bet you guys are all missing the usual. What's it like for you guys?
Well, it's a completely different experience for us. As you know, California was one of the first states to go into a lockdown. We started this back in March, and it's been a learning process, learning how to rethink the way we do business, rethink the way we serve our customer, and try and be as helpful as possible. And everyone's been great. The team has been super. Everyone's helped out in different areas that we normally don't work in, but that's what it takes to get this done. And I'm really appreciative of the team that I have.
Right. I bet your phones are your phones busier because people can't walk through the door?
Oh, yes. We certainly had a lot more phone calls, of course, a lot more internet orders, a lot of product being shipped, that volume. My shipper is fantastic. He's really done a fantastic job, and he's really been up against it. So, like I said, it's a learning experience, and hopefully, like with other amateur radio types of activities, you have after action reports. Hopefully this is something that we can sit down, look at, and learn from going forward.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point because, obviously everybody's experiencing this as something new, and here in retail, it's a whole nother ball of wax. And are you getting a lot of people that will do the curbside pickup there as well?
Yes, absolutely. Folks are still calling and asking if they can come into the store, and we explain to them that there is no access at this time.
Right.
However, they can place the order over the phone or online for a will call pickup, and that seems to be working out kind of well. It took a little getting used to for both our customers as well as my staff, but
Sure.
I think we've got that pretty well solved at this point.
Oh, great. Yeah, I would imagine that's, it's just so different than anything we're used to, but you just kind of bounce and keep figuring out how you go. So, there's my friend Steven over in the UK, and there's Hayden down in Australia. I just did a YouTube show with Hayden last weekend. Ham Radio DX is his channel on YouTube.
Hey,
And we had a nice chat. So nice to see you here. And there's our friends Greg. Greg's a section manager out there in Kentucky, and his wife Judy. And so, Dee, tell me about what's been going on with you guys down there in Plano. How's it? I saw some people behind you a little bit ago, but I think they're all now in the back getting some orders processed.
Yeah, I have to concur with Joe because we've been inundated, I guess, for lack of better terms, for all the orders that we have. The internet is just tremendous. The phone calls are tremendous, and we're shipping out and handing out, for lack of better terms, more packaging than we ever have. But we're here for you guys. We're absolutely here. Don't ever doubt that we're not. But we miss the face-to-face. We miss our customers. The phones are one thing that we can talk, but we miss that face-to-face, with all of our regulars and our customers and our new folks. And we'll be glad when we can open the store back up and get everybody back in and just resume our lives as normal as we can.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I know last week when we had Tom and Janet on, Tom said he had some folks who would come up, they've got those big windows in the front, just like you do there in Plano. And Joe, I haven't been to your store yet. We're going to have to find a reason for me to come visit.
San Diego. Absolutely.
But Tom said they had somebody they couldn't decide which antenna they wanted. So they were like standing in front of the window holding up one. Do you want this one or this one? And the person's looking and they're like pointing, I want that one. And
I think we've all experienced a little bit of that. Absolutely. There's still something to be said about being able to see the product, get a better idea than seeing it online. Really don't get a good feel for it. So we try and accommodate as best as possible. Talking to the door is a little challenging. We have to call and we talk to them on the phone while we're doing it. But once again, it's like one of those processes I mentioned. This is something we learn as we go and we get better at it as we go.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting. And of course, now that there's, people for a long time were still wanting to take their ham radio test and get their license. And everything was kind of on a hold a little bit. But now there's been a big, I would say almost a boom of people being able to take their test remotely. And I've been getting quite a few notes. People, they're now ready to get their first radio and not sure what to do. And is it okay to call? And, they'll send me these notes. I'm like, absolutely, please do call. And they're like, but I have a lot of questions. And I always say, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. I think when this thing first started, we saw a tremendous increase in phone calls from people that were not amateur radio operators.
Right.
Knowing that a radio was kind of an important asset to have in a time like this. And that gave us the opportunity to explain amateur radio, the process and everything. Unfortunately, like you said, testing right now is difficult. Here in San Diego, most of the tests are administered through Sandark, and they're all given in facilities that are run either by LDS churches or the city of San Diego. So those facilities aren't available at this time.
Right. That's got to be a challenge. How about you, Dee? Have you guys noticed a uptick in calls from new hams or prospective hams?
Absolutely. We have a lot of calls from folks that just want to know more about what amateur radio is all about. The different models, the handhelds, even the mobiles. I mean, they call and they're just so inquisitive, which is fantastic. That's what my staff down here, they're so, oh, hey, babe, my wife. There's so many intelligent and smart guys and girls that we've got down here in Texas, and it helps for them to know what the customer needs or what the customer would like, and kind of guide them in a directions to help them make the best choices for them. And it's great.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I know a lot of folks I see are making comments that they miss the the social time, because certainly You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's a social experience to come in and visit. And whenever I've been in any of our stores, you know, there's a lot of regulars, of course, that come in because they're working on projects and need a little piece or a part, or you know, they're bringing a friend in who's ready for their first radio. And I know Janet said last week that she's finding they're sending out a lot of coax because with all of the hams that are home, they're doing a lot of projects now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have anything
Yeah,
like that in
yeah.
particular you've noticed with the stuff that's happening out of the, you know, things that are going out of the store?
Yeah, go ahead, D. You go first.
No,
I don't want to
D,
walk all over.
no, it's fine. Go ahead, D. What do you got going on?
Man, the coax and the connectors. We've sent out a lot of those guys. And
Yeah.
it's, I guess everybody's building their own jumpers, or even, you know, the big long feed lines. But yeah, the connectors and coax is flying off the shelves.
I think
Right.
you're also seeing a lot of tuners, balance, all those things that, you know, I'm thinking they're like projects that perhaps they didn't have time for, and now they're in the shack a little bit more and say, hey,
Right.
I have the time. Let's go ahead and take care of it. And we're seeing an uptick in those items as well.
Oh, I bet. Have you guys been able to, you know, you're in the store all day long, all week long, but have you been able to enjoy any ham radio stuff outside of your normal work hours at all? Or has it just been working so hard you just haven't had a chance to do much?
Well, I haven't. I try and disassociate myself after work. I find my flying of quadcopters and RC vehicles and stuff like that very relaxing. Almost therapeutic. So that's what I like to do.
Well, that's important. But then now there's my mom. So now we've all had a family member pop in there. So my husband's
That's
still
awesome.
working, so no spouse, but at least I got mom in there. Hi, mom. And how about you, D? I know you said you were painting or something this past weekend, right?
Yeah, we were building some planters for some like an elevated. We had 5-gallon buckets, got tomatoes and hot peppers and all kinds of things in them too. So they turned out really well, actually.
Oh,
And
nice.
we have on Sundays, talking about ham radios, we have an HRO net that we have around 3875 on AM. It's generally been just everybody here in the Plano store. So if anybody's out there on AM 3875, about 4 o'clock Plano time on 80 meters, AM. Sometimes we go to sideband if it's conditions are not there, but we try to get on there every Sunday, kind of end the weekend out, you know, with a nice little ham radio howdy do, and just enjoy the day with that.
That's super cool. Well, I know I was working in the 7QP this past week in the 7th Area QSO party. And there was a couple of times where I was just, you know, running, and the bands were in such great condition. I mean, we haven't worked a pile up that good in a long time. And all of a sudden I heard a call sign I recognized. Would you happen to guess who that was, D?
I think that was WW9W, I believe.
It was
wasn't it?
WW9W. And I said, hey, is that you, Robert? Well, yes, it is, miss. I said, so we had a quick chat. And I said, oh my gosh, how fun. And it was a great time to be able to, you know, hear something. And I know he's very active on the bands. But I tell you, I know all of your teams are working really hard. This has been an extraordinary time, but we're also thankful that our hams are still active. They're doing a lot of neat things in their communities with their health and welfare nets, and working with each other, doing what they can to get hams tested out. And I know everybody's just chomping at the bit for the stores to open up so they can come back in. So you're going to have to be ready when the doors open. I have the feeling it might be like, you know, Black Friday with the lines down the road.
It'll be good to see him. You know, as you know, Katie, we have an event in August, and my fingers are crossed that we can still have the Hamburee this year.
Right.
It's very popular here in San Diego, and I'm looking forward to getting through this coronavirus situation with everybody being safe, and hopefully we can have Hamburee this year.
Right. Do you have any thoughts, Joe? Because we do try to get that promoted as much as possible. When you might be able to make a decision? Will you be able to hold off into, say, July or something before you'll know, you think?
I think probably by the end of June, I'll know for sure. It all depends on what's going on within the state.
Right.
The county just recently had rolled out a template for reopening, and there's certain guidelines that are going to have to be followed once the green light is given by the governor. So I think by June, we'll have a better feel for it.
Oh,
and then you and I will blast it out everywhere.
Right. Exactly.
It'll be a fun event. It's something we always look forward to, and I'm looking forward to seeing folks out here again.
Oh, I hope so too. That's, you know, and it'd be a nice way to kind of get back into the swing of things too.
Absolutely.
They can do that. And I know Dee, of course, your team normally would be getting ready to head down to HamCom coming up shortly, but unfortunately
Yes,
they've obviously canceled that for this year, which is, you know, it's still, you know, it's such a fluid thing these days. We all just kind of have to keep moving forward and doing whatever we can do. Oh, Greg must know about your net. He says, I love that AM net. So
oh, there we go.
all right. Well, super. So guys, I really I don't want to take too much of your time because I know how busy everything is. And Dee, you're getting ready to probably close up shop there pretty soon. We are once again traversing the timelines here and testing out the waves. But I really appreciate that you guys could take a few moments to be able to say hi to your ham friends in your neighborhoods and everybody out watching around the world. And I'll pass it over to you for a final. How's that? Let me go to you, Dee, first, and then we'll let Joe go next. How's that?
Oh, sounds good. Joe and Katie, good talking with you guys, and everybody out there. Just hang tight. We're going to get through this. It's just a matter of time. We just gotta hang our heads high and just go on. So you need us, we're here. Call us, internet, whatever we can do to help. We're here. Just let us know.
Thanks, Dee. Yeah, you bet. How about you, Joe?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, to everybody out there, especially the hams here in Southern California, I echo the sentiment from Dee. You know, we miss you guys. We can't wait to have you come back into the store, but we are here to help you. We are here to support you and answer your questions. But most importantly, we want you and your families to be safe throughout this whole situation. And that's the bottom line. That's why we're doing the things we're doing, so that we can all be safe and get through this. Thank you all for your support. Look forward to seeing you, hopefully, at the Hamboree.
I know, keep fingers crossed. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Dee, and thank you, Joe, from joining us here from San Diego and from Plano, Texas. And for those of you that are out watching on YouTube, I hope you'll subscribe to our channel as we continue to put more videos out there. And those of you on Facebook land, thank you for your support. And don't forget to tune in on Friday for Shack Chat. I'll have Dr. Jack Nielsen from Compact Tennis will be joining us. So in the meantime, I will let everybody sign off for now. 73, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your support. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.